some books that I think will get you out of a reading slump. If that's your truth, if that's something you're struggling with, I think that these can possibly help you get over that hump and into the promised land. There's a pretty decent variety here as well. Book number 1 is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is a contemporary romance book, and it follows Clementine West, and she unfortunately just lost her aunt, and she's moving into her late aunt's apartment. But one of the days she pulls up, there's a random man in her apartment with a country twang, and she's like, "Stranger danger, I actually don't know who the hell you are." Her aunt has always told her that the apartment was magical, but she could have never expected this, and that's what gets the ball rolling on the story. It's beautifully written, it's funny, and in my opinion, very unique. Number 2 is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. The reason why I would describe this as a slump buster is because sometimes you just need some satire. Sometimes you just need something so ridiculous that you just really don't even know what to do with yourself. The main character in this is June. She's an author. She has another author friend named Athena, right? Athena is a beloved literary darling in the industry. June has always kind of been jealous of her. One day, they're having pancakes. Athena chokes on a pancake. She dies. She's gone. Instead of grieving her like any other normal person would, June actually goes and steals a manuscript from her and tries to pass it off as her own. This had a lot of intrigue to me because the main character pissed me off so bad that I was like hate reading it, but not hate reading it because it's bad. It's a great book. Hate reading it because I absolutely hated the main character. I hated her so bad. Number 3 is Funny Story by Emily Henry. The reason why I would say this would break your slump is because 1, it broke a slump for me. I was in the trenches and this brought me above ground. The reason why this specifically is a slump buster out of all of her books is because it's her messiest plotline. I mean, the 2 main characters got broken up with, and then the people who broke up with them ended up dating each other. So it creates this fake dating scenario where they start dating each other to make their exes jealous. The way I convince people to read this book is by telling them that my brother, who only reads nonfiction, actually gobbled up this book. Number 4 is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This follows 2 authors, Eva and Shane, who had 1 week of whirlwind love 15 years ago, and they reunite in the present day. Things didn't end well 15 years ago, so some trauma needs to be worked through, some questions need to be answered. The writing style of this is addictive. It will just get you right out of that slump, baby. Don't worry. Number 5 is a package deal. We have 6 of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. This is a duology by Lee Bardugo. Reason for this being a slump buster? It's a heist. You're on your toes the whole time, okay? And these characters are so lovable. Personally, to me, things really start to pick up in Crooked Kingdom. This is definitely my favorite of the 2, but these are both great. Number 6 is Just Last Night by Bari McFarlane. I would describe this as literary fiction with a subplot of romance. It follows a group of 4 friends who experience the unthinkable one night, and then it starts to bring out secrets in their friend group. They have to work through some things. Some people have been hiding some stuff. It's very messy, but also just very heartbreaking. This book talks about grief, unlearning some biases you had about people in your past, forgiveness, and perhaps unexpected love. Sometimes to break out of a slump, you need a tearjerker. Last book we have is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a paranormal romance that's set in a world where there's obviously beef between the vampires and werewolves, because when do they ever get along in a story? The only way to keep peace between these 2 groups is to create a marriage of convenience between our main character Misery, who is a vampire, and Lo, who is a werewolf. Now, you can't take this book too seriously, okay? I had a great time. I think it's fun. If you're going into this book expecting something like so profound and whatever, like, baby, look at the cover. Damn! This book did make me wonder, like, I don't think I was in the same corners of Wattpad as y'all. I don't think I was, truthfully. Anyway, those are all my slump busters. Hopefully you're not in a slump right now. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Hopefully you're having the time of your life reading something real good right now. But just in case, I give you these.
Oh, what was that? You want Sapphic Fantasy Rex? Well, I have a whole bunch here, so let's go through them. Broken Hollow Star. It follows 4 queer teens set in Toronto, Ontario, and Canada. They're trying to figure out who did these murders. There's fae, there's folk. It's so good. Brent Thorne, about this girl who's been cast away in this castle because everything that she touches turns to poison and everything dies. But what if she comes to terms with being a monster, being a princess, and it's Sapphic? The Bone Shard Daughter, a world that's set with bone shard magic and an heir must try and reclaim her throne. It's Sapphic. It's so good. It follows multiple points of views, and it's adult fantasy. Rari the Orange Tree. It's Sapphic. There's dragons, multiple points of views, and it will keep you hooked even though it's thick. It's so worth it. There's Little Thieves. This is a young adult fantasy book. It's a retelling of Goose Girl. So the wicked servant steals the place of the princess that she's working under, and there's a Sapphic subplot. Final strife. In a world divided by blood, everybody's set as higher or lower depending on what blood they bleed, and there's a Sapphic romance. It's friends to lovers, and I'm in the middle of reading this, and it's so good. The Jasmine Throne. It's an adult fantasy book. It features a princess and a maidservant, and it's forbidden love. it's sapphic, it's knives to the throat, and it's phenomenal. We became the sun. There's war, there's violence, there's betrayal. It'll rip your heart out. If you love any war type military fantasies, you will love this. Legends and Lattes, this is a cozy fantasy. It's sapphic. If you want to break from all the epic fantasies, you should pick this one up. Gideon the Ninth, this is science fiction fantasy. If you like lesbian necromancers, swordplay in space, you will absolutely eat this one up. This is Malice. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling that's sapphic, and the princess ends up falling for the evil sorceress. A Dowry of Blood, it's romance, it's horror, it's about Dracula's brides, written from the perspective of Dracula's brides, and it's so good. It's how you lose the time, where this is a sapphic time travel fantasy. It takes between two rival agents that are at two different times, and they're writing letters to each other, and it's literally phenomenal. Crier's War, this is also a sci-fi fantasy. It's young adult, it's knives to the throat, enemies to lovers, it's forbidden love, impossible love, and it's literally so good. Cinderella's Dead, it's a Cinderella retelling where the girl doesn't want to marry a boy, she wants to marry a woman, and she runs off and finds love, and she just wants to break the patriarchy, and it's literally so good. Master of Jinn, this is a historical fantasy set in the 1900 in Cairo. It's about this agent where she's called into a case when brothers of the secret brotherhood are murdered, and there's a sapphic subplot in it. Last book is After Love. This is a young adult paranormal fantasy romance book. It follows two young girls where one of them unfortunately dies, and she can't let go of her first love, and she will do anything to see her again, dead or alive, but she's turned into a Grim Reaper, and it's so good.
If you loved ACOTAR, but you're looking for something with a bit more spice that follows multiple love interests throughout the whole series, that's also Dark Academia. That also has shifters, so you're getting werewolves, vampires, griffins, phoenixes. And you also want intense enemies to lovers. That is the slowest of slow burns with not one but two badass female main characters. That's also going to give you trauma like nothing else. Then you would love Zodiac Academy. If you liked ACOTAR and you really liked the spice in A Court of Silver Flames, and you're also looking for a book boyfriend that's a cross between Cassian and Rhysand, and you're also obsessed with witches, but you also go feral for the hidden Easter eggs that SJM leaves throughout her series, and you want something like that, then you would love the Witchwalker series by Carissa Weeks. If you loved ACOTAR, specifically the first three books, you are a Feyre girly. Looking for a series that leans heavier on the romance, but also you're a slut for any sort of trials or games, and you secretly wish that Rhysand was a vampire, then you would love The Serpent and the Wings of Night, the Crowns of Nyaxia series. If you loved Crescent City, specifically because it is an urban fantasy, you loved the slow burn between Bryce and Hunt, and you wish that it was dragged out even longer with more tension. And unfortunately, you did find Hunt to be a bit bland. You wish he was darker, more morally gray, more mysterious, maybe had shadow powers, kind of leaning into the Asriel girlies. And you're a fucking sucker for the best found family and side characters that are so well flushed out, and you also get their own POVs. And you also want that head rush feeling of the last 200 pages of this first book that makes you feel like you were physically going to be ill. I'm gonna need you to read the House of Devil series by Kayla Edwards. If you love Crescent City, but you wish that Bryce was actually morally gray, and you were rooting for her to have her villain and revenge arc, and you really felt like this book did her dirty, but you loved how much of a bad fucking ass she was in the first book, and you really like the urban fantasy world, but you are looking for something with a play on older gods. I wish that the Asteri were bigger villains than they ended up actually being. And you have a specific kink for when the enemies go to lovers, then go back to enemies, then you would love the Gods and Monsters series by Amber V. Nicole. If you love the Throne of Glass series, which how could you not, and you go feral for a training trope when a grumpy, brooding MMC has to train the FMC, and he just looks at it as a complete fucking waste of time, but you just eat up the banter and the tension. If you're a Rowan girly, largely due to the fact that he supports the shit out of Aelin. If you're looking for something where the FMC also goes through slavery and trauma, if you absolutely love it in the end of a multi-POV series, when everything comes together so perfectly, and you specifically want more plot twists and betrayal that absolutely blow your fucking mind. You live for the pain of the FMC and the MMC getting ripped the fuck apart, and you're dying for another FMC that is so badass. Then you absolutely have to read the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. It is fucking phenomenal.
Hello.